Hi guys, Steve here from the Awesome Club. You might be stuck at home at the moment in isolation with your kids, and you might be a parent wondering, how do I actually get the best outcomes out of my students' learning? You may never have done homeschooling before and you're freaking out a little bit about the whole pandemic situation. Well, Awesome Club, we've put together 11 different points for you to help you get through this difficult time. We'll also put this video along with the dot points up on our website, awesomeclub.co, so you can share it with your fellow friends that might have students learning from home too. So here are some tips and tricks. Write them down. Hopefully some of these really resonate with you and help you get through this horrible period as we're stuck at home trying to endure this pandemic. We're on a mission to stop bullying, solve emergencies, and help create the next generation of innovators. Go to awesomeclub.co, download our free app, and sign up to the Awesome Club to become part of something inspirational. First tip is routine and structure. It's incredibly important for a young student to have routine. They have routines in schools, and these are really important, but they're also now important to bring them home. They don't have to be identical to the school structure, but you should still have structure. You should start your school day at the same time and finish your school day at the same time. Inject recess break in there and a lunch break in there, and make sure that their sleeping patterns are very, very consistent. That is incredibly not only important for their development, but it's important for their mindset. If they get into the right routine, they know that there's going to be reading time from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. They can be prepared for it, and it will make a huge psychological difference to their learning. Tip number 2, exercise regularly and eat healthy. As a young student, they're going to need to burn energy. That means that they might need to do star jumps, push-ups. If you've got a backyard, kick the ball around the yard, play with pets, do anything they can to get regular exercise in their recess breaks, in their lunch breaks, in the mornings, maybe at night time. Make sure that they're eating healthy and staying hydrated. Don't give them too much junk food, especially not too much sugar. This is terrible for their concentration, and it's imperative that they continue to learn even though they're not at school, even from home. Limit distractions. This is very important, that you're not having TV shows and movies and the news on in the background with an eavesdrop for your student. If your child is trying to learn and all they can hear is movies and football and things like that in the background, they're not going to be able to concentrate. So make sure that they're focused, that you've taken all those distractions away, taken away PS4 or whatever they're trying to usually play at night, and make sure that they're focused on their schoolwork for that particular day. Working collaboratively online. I think it's important that students still stay in touch with their fellow peers. They can do projects together online. You can use things like FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, a whole bunch of free software programs that will allow them to still work together. They can chat, they can do it on the phone, they might be able to chat online, making sure that they're not using social media apps to get into chat rooms and having distractions from other potential dangerous people, but keeping it within their peers, keeping it supervised, and making sure that they're focused on their schoolwork. This is really, really important. Obviously, cybersecurity is an incredibly important discussion. There's some great apps and functions like Screen Time and Net Nanny and Family Zone, Apple Classroom, etc. And these are all really good discussions, but nothing beats good parental supervision and guidance around being a good digital citizen. Stay organized. Get rid of the clutter. Get rid of all the toys and the rubbish and the junk. Make sure they've got a very clear, clean, designated area, no chaos, but very clean and concise, that they know that's where I do my schoolwork and they can sit at their desk. Use engaging tools for learning. We've done a lot of workshops on stop motion, on green screens, and other incredible free apps that help your students get the most out of technology. It's really important that they're still able to use those apps and use that technology to be super engaged when they create their presentations, when they're putting together assignments, when they're doing their research. So make sure that they have the ability to still use these tools, even though they might not be using screen time the entire time. I'm also a fan of limiting screen time so they're not on screen time for the entire 6 hours that they're supposed to be doing their schoolwork. This is not healthy for their development, not healthy for their eyes. So make sure that they limit their screen time and it's in balance. They can still use things like iPads and PCs and Macs and things, but they're limiting how much they're staring at their screen. And get outdoors, do a little bit of exercise. Make sure they're reading a book every now and then, maybe playing with Lego and other tactile creative activities, playing an instrument, anything to get them away from the screen the entire time. Protect the child from bad news. You do not want them listening to what's going on in the world 24/7 at the moment. They're already anxious, they're already depressed, they're already away from their peers at school and having to stay at home. The last thing you want to do is have them exposed to horrific news that they might not need to know. I'm not saying that they bury their heads in the sand and they don't know anything that's going on. They obviously need to know why they're staying at home and why it's important for them to be isolated. However, they don't need to know all the details of what goes on in the world, and it actually creates an incredible amount of anxiety and often will lead to depression. And as a teacher, I've seen this happen in students all over the country, and I think it's important as a parent that you protect them as much as you can. Formative feedback. Let's be very positive in our feedback. It's called positive affirmation. It basically means that you encourage your students and you go, well, that's a great job. You've done a really good job at that particular area, and uplift them and encourage them and feed their gifts, not tear them down every time they make a mistake. Yes, they'll make mistakes. Yes, they might not present a perfect assignment, but that doesn't mean you tear them to pieces. Give them advice about what they're doing wrong and try and correct them and help them along, but make sure that you focus mostly on the positive things that they're doing right, and that will encourage them and potentially stop them from feeling like they are going to give up and not do any work from home. I would also encourage creativity and play. Hey, this is the Awesome Club. We absolutely encourage creativity and play. That might be through Lego, it might be through Play-Doh, it might be through straws, it might be through arts and craft, it might be through musical instruments. Whatever it is, students are creative, they're using their imaginations, and it's really important that we tap into that creativity and give them time to create, play, and have fun. Learning should be fun. You shouldn't be having to sit around at home just staring at a whiteboard or a blackboard. Encourage creativity and play. Last but not least, this shouldn't be treated as an extended holiday period of time. Students might go, whoopee, I get to stay at home and play PlayStation and Xbox for the next 6 months. No, it should be very clear that they're in the right frame of mind for learning, and that for that 6 hours of a day, that structure and that routine kicks in. They might even want to wear school uniforms. In fact, when I dress up in a suit and a tie, last thing I'm going to do is lounge around at home or watching a movie. I'd rather be in my pajamas to do that. But if they're in their pajamas all day, they might not be in the right frame of mind to learn. So maybe get them into their school uniform for 6 hours, and as soon as school time finishes, they get back into their normal casual clothes and off they go. So just to quickly recap over these 11 points, we need to try and routine and structure, exercise and eat healthy, limit our distractions, online collaboration as much as possible, stay organized, engage tools for learning, limit our screen time, limit bad news, give them formative feedback and positive affirmations. Creativity and play is really important, and this is not a holiday. Try and get them into the right frame of mind. Thanks guys, hope you have a safe time. Look after your peers, look after your family, look after your loved ones, and we'll get through this pandemic together.